This video is intended to be a description of a light blade talisman named Loveshine. I will start with the main scaffolding of the light blade itself, consisting of kunzite, seen right here, which is lovely lithium-based. Oh, and this is my well-loved, crude, dilapidated chakra map I'll be using for visual cue reference for this video. And back to what I was saying. This guy right here, the kunzite, is actually a lovely pink-gray lithium-based high heart source activator that has a very powerful divine love, smooth, soothe reception frequency. Obviously, an aspect of high potency pink ray is the foundation of this device with the primary blade band like so. So how that works, of course, is that the kunzite emanates like so, then it goes into the subcapacitation of the clear quartz right here, which is a neutral amplifier of this entire frequency, closing the circuit like so. So the pink ray focus of the kunzite makes a very powerful, soothing, divine love energy, which will be very advantageous to be worn in a talisman format for the practitioner who will be receiving this as endeavors and service to a creation. Because having the aspect of love being the dominant vibration of this pink ray focus will be very advantageous for heart connections to all those under her jurisdiction, which is why these guys are absolutely fantastic to make, and they're very, very advantageous in tangibility. Anyhow, I digress. So going from the primary circuit of the kunzite into the clear quartz, then going like so, all the way up into this transmutation blade band consisting of smoky quartz and hematite in ignition sequence found on both sides of the scaffolding, making a closed loop circuit. Smoky quartz and hematite are a fantastic transmutation ratio, as far as I'm concerned, based on the aspect of them successfully pulling all stray energies through the root into the Earth stars and into the Earth star meridian matrix for reprocessing. So you can think of that ignition sequence being like a form of a third Teflon, while all incoming bombardment energies would have a safe bypass ground to discharge into the Earth for reprocessing. So that circuit continues like so on both sides, as well as it being a very powerful grounding agent for all other exotic frequencies mentioned to ensure the ground point for the entire scaffolding has a safe bypass into the Earth for reprocessing, so that all these other mentioned exotic variables have a safe ground point in the scaffolding to encourage the tangibility of the output. Okay. So, like I mentioned, transmutation going like so into this apex band of peridot. Peridot is an amazing third and fourth chakra stimulant and a very powerful growth induction frequency. You could think of like this particular green nugget of positivity being the impeccable emanation of chlorophyll in the crystalline kingdom, which is very advantageous for growth of any kind of abundance and positive energy in all capacities, as well as being a very powerful heart clear and receptivity clear from all the gifts and loves the divine wants to give to us naturally. So naturally, in tandem with the primary pink ray focus of the high heart love activation, with the physicality of the green ray and solar plexus being heart and will, is a perfect antithesis to the entire light body scaffolding that this guy is designed to generate. So peridot, an amazing stone of positivity, like I mentioned. So that'll be the entirety of the blade band scaffolding discussed thus far, with the main engine, if you could dare say, being the golden healer quartz, which is a very fantastic gold white like high heart Christ source alignment activation. Hence, it's a very successful engine to be a proper source tuned spiritual. Alrighty. So at the very apex of the core of the blade itself is something called fulgurite. Fulgurite is an amazing frequency of lightning captured in sand. That actually is petrified lightning right in there, so naturally having this guy terminated to the primary wire, it gives that lightning force through the entire structure of this device. Fulgurite is a very intensive full chakra calm activator. Literally it's the force of lightning caught in sand, so it's a very powerful frequency to stimulate the entirety of everything from the earth stars, the chakras beneath the feet, all the way to the soul stars and higher chakras. So it's a very, very powerful manifestation prayer agent as well. It is utilized for that purpose by the First Nation medicine women and medicine men of old to intensify their prayers to spirit for their magic. So fulgurite's been a very well utilized spiritual energy enhancer for millennia now, and of course utilizing it in a circuit gives a much more vibrant, intensive frequency focus of that power of lightning, which, like I've mentioned, will of course be in tandem with all the frequencies mentioned here to make it as clean, harmonized as possible to have the power of lightning being accelerated through particularly the love filter, for example. Anyhow, that's enough digression there. And to bring extreme soothing capacity to the fifth chakra was a lovely piece of Larimar. Larimar is an amazing fifth chakra stimulant and sixth chakra soother that is actually a fire and water element frequency, only one like it's in quite like the mineral kingdom, to stimulate both those octaves of polarities, as well as being a very powerful fifth chakra stimulant and soother, an oasis of calm generator that is very amazing for the highest truth of the recipient's dharmic blueprint, quite simply. And above that right here is Moldavite. Moldavite is an amazing green ray cosmic stone of great notoriety in this timeline, and is also quite infamous for being quite the destructive alchemical crucible inducer. So Moldavite's got a bad rap from being such a powerful green ray stimulant that it brings one's reality in alignment to the highest divine truth with hurricane force, basically, that can be rather destructive to the false self matrix internally, as well as magically manifest externally a whole new reality very quickly. Hence, it's a stone that's obviously quite famous for its metaphysical potency, as well as infamous for being a very dramatic dharmic accelerant. So, obviously, as a preface, with a little dose of that guy in this device to be a spirit tool, is to, of course, transmute, buffer, as well as mitigate any potential growing pains that Moldavite would produce in its raw format to be a cosmic kick in the rear towards one's highest manifestation, tangibly overlapped in their reality. So obviously there'll be aspects of the transmutation that come in play, as well as stabilization and the smooth out to mitigate the growing pains, quite simply. As a quick disclaimer for the utilization of Moldavite, even in a small dose in a circuit. And above that is another amazing dharmic accelerant named Libyan gold tektite. This was utilized by the ancient Egyptian pharaoh caste of old to be a tremendous boost of strength and fire. It has a strong stimulation to the sacrum and solar plexus, and in many ways is like a gold ray cousin to the famous Moldavite, just a little less known about. And it's a very powerful gold ray energy and just about the most impeccable solar plexus engager in the mineral kingdom, unrivaled virtually for its capacity of dramatic intensification of one's will, which of course is an aspect of manifestation. And like I mentioned, a lovely, lovely dharmic accelerant to one's highest blueprint, fully manifest intangibility. On the back side right here is the amazing Prenite. Prenite is an amazing third and fourth stimulant of water and earth energies, and is a very fantastic stone, commonly notarized and penned by many an author to be the stone that heals the healers. It brings extremely soothing, heart-centered healing vibrations through the entire body. So having that frequency on the device, of course, of a practitioner who serves those under her jurisdiction in creation is a very advantageous frequency to have in the background to foster that healing energy as a background filter for any endeavors of service to creation. So Prenite also is an amazing Raphael, the Archangel frequency inducer. So you can think of it as a natural analog kind of frequency induction to the seraphic green ray of the Raphael force. An amazing, amazing stone. Very vast and very mysterious and very encompassing in many ways. So this right here would be Seraphinite. Seraphinite is a green ray stone that is, of course, compatible with the hot green ray of the heart chakra, but it also works to be a very powerful dismantler of any kind of patterns of dis-ease, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. So it's a very dynamic master healer stone that is probably one of my top 5 favorite stones if I had to quantify it, based on its sheer, wholesome metaphysical potency. And the aspect also of Seraphinite being a full chakra calm stimulant is that also it works to dismantle any patterns that would be impeding the full light body from top to bottom at a very quick, soothing, expanded rate. So Seraphinite is an amazing master healer, like I mentioned, to be incorporated in any given device. for the entire success of this vibratory circuit in a closed loop circuit. Okay, so I'll be moving on to the section which will eventually have the hood. Once this video is concluded and notarized all the crystal frequencies, a white hood will be installed on kind of like so, to serve for multiple purposes of a color therapy diffuser of the white rays, 7 rays diffused into white, as well as an insulator to kind of condense the energy through the focus right here, as well as a way to protect the subtle stones which are stacked like so, so that of course this will be seeing a lot of action in the field, and it'll be a way to really of course protect the subtle frequencies in there. So actually this is very much a functional part of the device. Okay, so I'll get straight into the agate section. So red jasper stabilizes very powerfully the root chakra, as well as fire agate stabilizing the root, sacrum, and solar plexus. Then, where did you go, moss green? Oh, moss green agate is a very powerful stabilizer of the green ray heart chakra. Then blue lace agate is an amazing stabilizer of the 5th chakra. So when you have the aspect of stabilization from the earth, fire, and water perspective, it makes a very strong stabilization of the entire chakra column, particularly in a circuit where it's a very reactive device. So the aspect of them being the most stabilized frequencies in the Mineral Kingdom in a passive wearable format is very essential for the capacity of really making sure the gains and the stability are there for the frequency's full success and tangibility. And down here, to give a little more Kundalini burst, is black tektite. Black tektite is the product of a nickel iron meteorite entering the Earth sphere, hitting sand, and vaporizing with heat and pressure, making basically a space obsidian. So carrying that extraterrestrial jolt has a very strong consequence to the light body, being a very powerful black ray stimulant of the entire light body from the ground up, which dramatically increases Kundalini capacity as well as the entire chakra column. It's in the ideal configuration. So even a small dose of that will be a very powerful boost to the high cosmic strength of one's dharmic blueprint. Then over here is the lovely Mount Shasta serpentine. Just like black tektite aforementioned, it's a very powerful Kundalini stimulant for the entire chakra column, as well as it's from my backyard here in Mount Shasta, so it's a Shasta rock. And it's a very, very lovely way to have a strong cellular respiration generator and, DNA purifier, quite simply. Then right here is the amazing petalite. Petalite is an incredible clear ray, lithium-based, high Earth-South mind perspective generator that actually has strong stimulation to the 6th and 7th chakras. And since it's a lithium-based frequency, it brings a very calming oasis to the higher self perspective. So you can think of this to be a very powerful way to engage the witness self of highest self manifest, viewing the realities, as well as having that kind of soothing frequency and a background filter in play when worn for the practitioner is a good way to also keep energy very soothed and calm no matter what endeavors creator has up for her in her service to creation, basically. And right here is the lovely shungite. Shungite is an incredible black ray carbon-based crystal that's quite in vogue in this timeline due to its notoriety to be a tremendous 5G mitigator and diffuser of any kind of harmful subtle radiations that actually could compromise the subtle human DNA of the human body from this timeline. So it's quite in vogue right now, like I said, for being very famous for that purpose. So even a small circuit of that capacity in the closed loop circuit goes a long way to bring that purification to the entire energy body in a consistent ratio. And I believe that'd be most of the crystal structure described thus far. Okay. So oftentimes I save this part for last very intentionally for the aspect of the selenites, found both right here. Selenite is an incredible 6th, 7th, 8th non-physical chakra engagement to the higher self, Godhead perspective. So it's a very fantastic gateway to the higher self by itself, as well as being very powerful for clearing any densities from the entire auric field. But where it really shines in any given spirit tool is the capacity to take all aforementioned frequencies to purify all stones discussed so far in a circuit and to harmonize all these frequencies together, then to amplify all of them together. So when you get the trifecta of amplification, all the frequencies mentioned, purification, and harmonization in that impeccable trinity, that is quite the effective way to get the most out of all other frequencies in a closed loop circuit, while of course most importantly keep it pure, harmonized and accelerated together. So it's a very, very impeccable way to keep the highest frequency pitch intended for this device in the service of the wielder. Then, terminated next to the selenites are black, orange, green, and blue kyanites. Kyanites in the Mineral Kingdom are very effective for rapidly transferring energies. So black kyanite is a very powerful way to ground all excess energy at a very rapid rate into the earth. Orange kyanite is very effective for bridging the sacrum energy to the highest capacity in alignment with their dharmic highest configuration. Green kyanite is a very rapid way to transfer the heart energies to the highest configuration, as well as blue kyanite for the mental centers to the highest cities or psychic gifts and capacity of the operating system. So naturally, these 4 kyanites easily available to me work very rapidly, make very quick transferences of energy in alignment to one's highest self-dharmic blueprint. That is the idea of kyanite, and I do believe that would be the entire crystalline structure of this love shine discussed. So, like I mentioned, it's on a core of oak from my backyard here in Mount Shasta. And quite simply, having the extreme concentration of the pink ray focus of the kunzite be highly accelerated makes the dominant vibration of this guy very, very heart-centered and a very soothing capacity, which is a very advantageous disposition for any light worker to act from, and to be a very powerful generator of that frequency. And that would be the summary of another weaponized pink ray wearable program talisman, basically. Well, 1,000 blessings, and may the force be with us all.